Hi, Rigsters here, back with a different game I got from a poll. The poll suggested about 2 weeks ago a game called Bomber Crew to cover, so I decided, you know what, let's go and cover this game. I had this game for quite a while. I even got the USAF DLC about a year ago prior to making the YouTube channel. This game's made by Runner Duck, who also made a really cool game I want to cover in the future, which I have also got this year, Space Crew. So what is this game? Well, it's basically a management action game where you can customize your crew to, fly a bomber in World War II. That's pretty much the premise behind it, and your goal is to survive and get to the end. Now, because I did denote about the USAF DLC, I'll start with Bomber Crew the original. And if interest or me or otherwise is interested in it, I also will cover USAF because that also is different. Instead of being a European theater on the Western Front, USAF is the Italy front, which, yes, technically it's also Europe front, but it's more based in Italy, whereas Bomber Crew is based on Britain to Germany. I'm going to do a new game skip tutorial because, well, I do know the basics, so I'll overwrite that. Interestingly enough, there is a weird glitch with this game that I've totally forgot about. When you start the game, you can change the graphic details from default, medium, and low, or lowest. For some reason, I had it set to medium, and it tanked the frames, so that's something to note, based on an AMD machine. Start with default, because it'll tank your graphic capability. Now, you start with a full crew, but if you lose crew member, this is where you recruit them. You go to crew gear here. This is where you can customize the names, appearance, and what gear, of course, they wear. And this guy is Fred Martin. Now, you can change his name, too. You can name him, like, Freddie Martin, or Fred, or, like, Fred, What would be a interesting name for Fred that's a good last name outside of Martin? Fred. I just wanted to do it just to demonstrate, but I'm drawing blanks. Gosh, it's almost like I didn't plan this at all. Well, it is true. I didn't actually plan what to put for the name for Fred. I'll just add a Z, because adding a Z at the end of a name is always cool. There you go. Fred Martins. Now we could go to flight suit here. This is your first part of the equipment, and it goes all the way across from flight suit, headgear, oxygen, vest, gloves, and boots. Flight suit, since this is the pilot, you do not want him to move around, because the pilot dies or gets incapacitated, your plane goes down, and you have to either quickly race to have a crew pilot the plane, or you just crash into the ocean, and if you don't bail out, well, they go poof. So there you go. Since it's winter time, winter jumpers seem to be most appropriate. Let's do blue, and you can do one of two things here. As you click on these things, they show different stats as well, because it's, a management game as well. You start off with that, basic royal blue. Winter jumper adds +2 land survivability if they bail out over land, and if you bail out over the sea, it is a +1 to the sea, and +4 to this temperature thing that helps with high altitude flight, because you can freeze to death, just like in real life, if you go that high. Now, to make this practical, and since it doesn't slow you down, it's best to just do equip to all for stuff like this, because that'll help everybody. And you don't have to individually click on each one and hit equip, this one equip, that kind of stuff. It automates it. And the last thing I forgot to mention is this shield looking thing. That's defense. That's basically your armor. So if you get hit, they have more hit points. And one other thing is this what looks like a sonic speed arrow. That is speed if it increases or decreases. On the left side of Freddie Martin's, you can see his stats will go up or down based on armor and weight. So equip to all. It'll ask you, and you hit yes, of course. And then you go to headgear to see if there's anything to give you here. Now, what you see with this spyglass thing with a creepy looking eye thing, that is your research points if you succeed or at least get most of your crew back during a mission. That unlocks more stuff. That's how you research in this game. Oxygen, don't need that, but, well, for now, you don't need it, but later in the game, this will allow you to move crew around when they're not on station, so they don't, die from of oxygen at high altitude. Vest, well, it starts you off with light flak vest, but if you're really feeling nuts with the pilot, you can make a move faster, but I wouldn't advise that. Gloves usually just help with defense and warmth, and same thing for boots. Since there's nothing else you could buy here, I'm gonna go through the crew real quick. This person is the engineer, Georgina Mellar. I don't think I said that name right, but the engineer, you'll be moving around a lot. Navigator occasionally will move, but you need him to, of course, navigate, and you want to keep him protected. Radio officer is your radar that detects fighters and points of interest. Gunners, you rarely, if ever, want to move. You want to keep them very heavily armored, because they're your main defense and offense against fighters. And believe me, they can get pretty nasty. And they have slightly different stats too, as you noticed. Like, Michael Mori has better thermal, whereas, actually, almost all of his stats are better. Yeah. Yes, he can actually last 6 seconds without oxygen. This person, Joey Marcel, does not have much better stats. And also the bomb aimer. They're very critical for the front gun they can unlock later. And also, of course, to aim the bombs. And also take photographs too, because you can do photographic reconnaissance in this game, which actually is realistic in some ways. Training, if you have skills to unlock, there's nothing there, so we go to the aircraft, the best part of the game. Now, the cool part about this is you can really customize your aircraft too. Like, for example, I don't want my bomber to be known as the Runner Duck. I want it to be named the Riginator. There you go, instead of the Baconator. There you go. And livery, you can change this here. This is cosmetic, but you can do all sorts of cool stuff with the paint. Does not affect concealment. As sad as it is, unfortunately, painting a historical night camouflage does not actually make you less likely to be intercepted at night. I tried that. Unfortunately, it does not work. Whoa, over the... There's some really strange ones in here. You can also unlock some over time. I think this is part of the DLC they gave to everybody. We're gonna do, curved sea foam green. We're gonna do that there. You can also customize more stuff here as well. Oh yeah, Grill 15. Yeah, you can also do like some really great art as well. I'm just gonna put on a vampire bat there. You can also change the engine art as well. I like the Flying Tiger on the engines though. It looks pretty nice. This is just all cosmetic junk and stuff. It's not mandatory. You can make it as plain or as boring as you want it as well. You can even put text on it, which is also kind of comical. I'm going to definitely change that and say, go away hairpain. Now, if you might be wondering, why am I typing go away hairpain when it's actually spelled airplane? It's kind of a joke reference I've made to a reality show that some kids mispronounced the aircraft. Instead of saying airplane, they wanted to ride on a hairpane. So it stuck ever since, and I thought that was like the funniest thing ever. So there you go. That will definitely intimidate the enemy. So now for actual statistic changes. You can get standard engine Mark 1s so far. As you play the game, you can get lighter or more armored engines for various capacities, and more armor, of course. Weight limit is very important. The higher that is, the more gear you can put on. The shield is, of course, the same as the crew. That's your armor, how many hit points it takes until it burns up or falls off the plane. Gun turrets is a very important thing. Right now, you start with 303 times 2 Mark 1s. That means there's twin barrels in the version 1. They get better over time as you play the game. Optionally, and you don't need this right away, but you should get it eventually, is the Ventral Turret. Because sometimes you'll have strange music aircraft if you're into World War II history, which is basically just twin-engine fighters that could shoot you up from the underside. Very deadly and effective in real life, and it was a serious problem during the war. And of course we got the mid-upper turret, and the nose turret as well. And these are all to defend against aircraft. That's all they're good for. And sometimes offensively too. This is electrical system. Occasionally you have to repair these with the engineer. Hydraulics is very important. The hydraulics go down, you can't lower the landing gear, and you have to make a belly landing, which is very dangerous. Radar, of course, is how you detect aircraft from afar. Extinguishers are a nicety to have, so you don't have to have a crew member dangerously crawl over the wings and put out the fire. Oxygen is not as critical, at least in the early game, but is useful for high-end altitude strikes. Fuel tanks, the only thing with fuel tanks, they don't really increase range or anything in this game. They just increase the armor, which you want to do over time. Now we got the equipment. Now this is very preference focused, but you can put all sorts of different things such as extinguishers, emergency parachutes, like med pack, and a fire extinguisher. I personally usually prioritize the med pack because I usually like to keep the plane instead of losing the plane, but everybody has a different approach. You can eventually upgrade these to more slots and put more interesting gear there. Fuselage, this is where you can up armor your aircraft to make it more resistant to bullets. At the start, it starts with 600 health and weighs 30 towards the weight limit, towards your bottom left corner of the screen. And they go through all these sections from the nose all the way to the tail and the wings. Survival, I haven't really used this much because usually I keep the plane, but if you bail out or have crew members like ditch, this increases their chance of being found and discovered so you don't lose them. Losing crew in this game is painful. So let's go to briefing and just do a quick mission here. So this is where you start with. The main campaign progress starts from here, and you get like a star, and then you go to the next phase, star, next phase, that's how it goes. This is easy. The first two bars are the quote-unquote easy get you going phase. After this bar, you clear the first bar, the game gets really hard. And I'm not exaggerating. It can be very overwhelming at times. So you click on one of these target things and you can see how long the duration is, what is the supposed risk. If you complete the mission, you get this amount of money. That's the money in British pounds. Very realistic, at least in that aspect. And safe return bonus, so if you return the aircraft and the crew, you get an extra 100 experience and an extra 800 bucks. And of course, that's your commander saying a little bit of story about the mission. And also, sometimes they'll have mission perks, like if I do the battery ammo dumps, you can reduce enemy damage for 2 missions. That's also a very useful perk. Search and rescue is okay, but I usually prefer just a traditional go after the factory or get a damage reduction. Or perk if you make it. So I'm going to do that one. Oh yeah, there is music in this game, of course, but per YouTube I don't play music. So, this is your aircraft. To get going, you either press number 1 on your keyboard, or you just left click on each pilot. Or each crew member. Sorry, I got ahead of myself there. You can left click on each crew member to do various things, but I found what's faster and easier is to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1 to 7. So you just hit take off. Now the one thing you want to do while they're doing that is press spacebar. This will tell your pilot to go to that waypoint right there. And fuel usage is modeled, so you want to make sure you raise the gear like that. And to move around, you hold down the right mouse button and you can just watch your very strange aircraft take off into the sky. My goodness, if a plane went like this to war, God bless him. Alright, so now I can speed up time, which I'll certainly do, because nothing really happens here. So I just speed it up there. And you want to always have the navigator marking a waypoint, otherwise you can get lost and lose fuel, because you can run out of gas in this game. Oh. Well, you just started a bomb and run, so that's how you do find aircraft. At the bottom right corner of your screen, you always want to watch this, because that's where aircraft is as well. I want the bomb aimer on there, not on the guns. Open up the door. This does create drag, believe it or not. And you only want to select one bomb load with the bomb aimer. I know I'm doing this very quickly, but you have to do this. And you click on release here, when the crosshair's over there. Quickly close the doors. Just fly through that real quick here. Oh, we got aircraft. If you see blinking green circles, you can do that right there. That means tells the gunners, hey, there's aircraft there, start shooting. And this is where the game gets very hectic. These are the easy missions, mind you, not the hard ones. Alright, so let's go quickly to Navigator. And let's take a photograph here. Now, gunners usually will automatically reload as well. Let's see here, do they have any skills yet? Nope, they do not. I'm going to take a photo here. So in the same bomb aiming view, you aim with this crosshair here. Take photo. And then let's go to the main objective. Low altitude is risky, but it's the easiest way to aim. Oh, jeez. I have to tell him to reload ammo. This is a little bit of inconvenience. And have him do that there. Oh, jeez. You have to do so much in this game, it's not even funny. Once you have no electric power, you have also no ability to use your radar. So I had sent the engineer to do that. Selected the bombs here. Bombs are limited. They're a one charge thing. Oh no. I didn't want to do that. You see, this is how you can really screw up. But I need to complete the main objective, so I'm going to go back around and precisely try again. Oh, jeez. And then you have to left click on the gunners and hit R. That tells them, like, hey, rush the guns. And oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay. Oh, shoot. There we go. I accidentally wasted ammunition. I am not sending the pilot on there. And I'm sending the... oh, where is it? Sending them back there. Yeah, the game is like saying, hey, you're not tagging fighters. Oh my goodness. See how quickly this game can get overwhelming? This is easy, by the way. Later missions are much more brutal than this, too, by the way. Yeah. Oh no, I lost one of the gunners? Are you serious? Oh, I gotta revive him. So I had to quickly left click on the engineer to get him to respirate. Yeah. There we go. And then, where's the, okay. Have him reload the gun there. Oh, jeez. I can't really rest him right now. I need to repair the engine and stuff. Why is he... Oh, are you serious? Get back on the gun. I don't want him to heal. Jeez. So you really have to micromanage and know the hotkey for your reload, which is the left key here. Where's the navigator? Okay. So you have to really do this all very quickly. It's just insane how fast you have to be. Where's the gun? Did I put him on the gun? Oh. Yeah, usually I will stick the engineer on the front gun. Sometimes the bomb aimer I'll put on the front gun, but it's just a preference thing. I am leaking fuel, but it should be enough here. Oh, whoops. Actually, I used the bomb aimer for the... Oh no. Fat fingered that there. Oh, that would have sucked. Actually, I usually keep the engineer on station, which is... Well, where is the station? The station is somewhere, and now I forgot where it is. Yeah, I'll lower the landing gear with the pilot right now. I've kind of fat-fingered things. Oh. There we go. That's his station. I always forgot his station was right there. Yeah, we're on... That's where you can figure out the usage rate. If he's on... The engineer's on station, he's actually near the pilot. I always forgot about that. Oh, good grief. Alright. Well, it's just a lot to process and talk about, because there's just so much things you have to do in such a short amount of time. But that's what makes the game challenging and fun. And a successful mission there. Could have definitely done that better, but give me a break. I haven't played this game in almost a year. Now you can speed this up, which I will promptly do. It just gives you the mission results. And then you press speed up again, return repaired. Also, I don't do slow time. That also gives you a small bonus. So I earned an extra $80 and 10 research doing that. Return to base is a huge incentive. And the optional recon photos added an extra 500. So that's pretty good. I usually fast forward the crew thing because, you know, it's just a little bar that goes up. But they can level up and learn new skills. Like boost. I never use boost, but for some players that run risky, you can actually speed up your bomber and make it harder to intercept, which sometimes works. Emergency dive you have to be really careful with. I've crashed the bomber by not reaching full middle altitude, and it just goes to hell and back. And now we also unlocked aircraft upgrades, extinguishers, livery, and all sorts of good crew gear. So that is it for this video of Bomber Crew, the original non-DLC variant of the same game. On the next one, I will be covering the USAF. This is Rigsters Journey, signing off.